It was exactly 7 in the evening inside a bustling supermarket in Mumbai. The day's rush had finally begun to ease. Trolleys clattered less frequently, and the once crowded aisles now carried a quieter hum. At counter number 5 stood Asha, a 23-year-old cashier who had left behind her small hometown with dreams of building a better life. She worked long hours here while also studying, trying her best to support her family back home. The fatigue often showed in the slight redness of her eyes, but no matter how drained she felt, a gentle smile always lingered on her face. It was her way of making strangers feel welcome. Among the customers that evening, one elderly man approached her counter slowly. He looked frail, his back slightly bent, his steps unsure. His hands trembled as he placed his small purchases on the counter, 2 loaves of bread, a packet of milk, and some medicine. His eyes carried hesitation, almost as though he feared this simple act of shopping would expose his vulnerability. Asha scanned the items and said softly, "Uncle, that will be 229 rupees." The man opened his worn wallet. His fingers fumbled as he counted. After a pause, his face fell. He had only 210 rupees. With lowered eyes and a shaky voice, he whispered, "Daughter, I'm short by 19. Please remove the milk." For a moment, silence hung between them. Then, without the slightest hesitation, Asha slipped a 20-rupee note from her own pocket and placed it into the register. "It's fine, Uncle," she said kindly. "Please take everything." The old man's eyes welled with tears. He clasped his hands, struggling to speak. Finally, he managed, "Child, you have saved more than money today. You have saved my dignity. God bless you." But just as this touching moment unfolded, a stern voice cut through the air. Raghav Khanna, the supermarket's manager, had witnessed the act. He was a man notorious among the staff for his obsession with rules and discipline. His face darkened with anger as he marched toward the counter. "What nonsense is this?" he barked. "This is a business, not a charity house. You are not here to play savior. You're fired immediately." The supermarket grew still. Customers nearby looked on in silence, but no one spoke up. The old man tried pleading on Asha's behalf, folding his hands in front of the manager, but Raghav dismissed him coldly. Asha's heart pounded, yet she did not argue. With quiet grace, she removed her ID card, placed it on the counter, and walked away. Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears, but her expression carried no shame, only dignity. That night, in her small rented room with peeling paint on the walls, she lay awake staring at the ceiling. Her thoughts circled endlessly. Was I wrong to show compassion? Did kindness deserve punishment? She questioned herself over and over, wondering if humanity had no place in a world ruled by rules and money. The following morning, as dawn filtered through her window, a knock startled her. Confused, she opened the door and froze. Standing before her was the same elderly man, but he looked entirely different now. Instead of the frail, hesitant figure from the supermarket, he stood tall with warmth in his eyes. Behind him waited a gleaming luxury car, and beside him stood a young secretary in a crisp suit. The man smiled and said, "My child, yesterday you didn't just spend 19 rupees. You gave me back something priceless, my respect. I am Shivarayan Agarwal, founder of the Agarwal Charitable Foundation. Today I am here, not as an old man who needed help, but as someone who saw the true heart of humanity in you." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a formal offer letter, an appointment as assistant director in the foundation's social justice team, with a salary 3 times greater than what she had earned at the supermarket. Asha's eyes widened. Her hands trembled as tears spilled down her cheeks. "But sir," she stammered, "I did nothing extraordinary." Mr. Agarwal placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "That is exactly why it is extraordinary. A true act of kindness expects nothing in return. The world needs people like you." Asha accepted the offer with folded hands and overwhelming gratitude. Soon after, she joined the foundation. The day she walked into her new office, the staff greeted her with applause. They had already heard her story, and to them, she was not just a colleague but an inspiration. Weeks later, during a public conference, Mr. Agarwal spoke before a large gathering of journalists and social leaders. He shared Asha's story with the world. "If one young woman can protect humanity with just 19 rupees, he declared, then perhaps it is time we rethink our entire system. True change begins not in policies but in hearts." The media picked up the story, and soon Asha's name spread as a symbol of selfless compassion. Meanwhile, back at the supermarket, Raghav Khanna received a legal notice for wrongful dismissal. News reached him that the same girl he had fired in front of a crowd was now a director at a prestigious foundation. His arrogance crumbled and his face turned pale with regret. A week later, Asha was invited onto a stage to be honored as an unsung hero. With humility, she stepped up to the microphone. Looking out at the audience, she spoke with calm conviction. "I didn't just give 19 rupees that day," she said softly. "I saw my father in that elderly man. To change the world, we don't need grand revolutions. We need small acts of humanity, tiny sparks that remind us we are all connected. Sometimes a coin, a word, or a gesture can restore dignity, heal pain, and even alter the course of someone's destiny." The hall erupted with applause. Many in the audience wiped away tears. Her words were not just a speech, they were a mirror reflecting what humanity often forgets. She ended with these lines: "Rules may keep a system running, but only kindness keeps the world alive. Never underestimate the power of a tender heart. True greatness isn't measured by wealth or status. It's measured by the courage to stand for others when no one else will." That evening, as the applause thundered on, Asha's eyes shone with quiet pride. She had not only found her voice, but had proven that compassion, even in its smallest form, can echo far beyond imagination. And so, her story reminds us all, humanity survives not because of money or power, but because of ordinary people who choose kindness in moments when it matters most. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll away. Share it with someone who needs to be reminded that kindness still exists. And if you believe compassion can truly change the world, make sure to subscribe for more such inspiring stories. Also, let us know in the comments where in the world you are watching from. We would love to know how far our family of hope has spread.